All right, good morning, everyone. My name is Lauren Merritt. I'm here at the National Weather Service, and I'm here to give you your weekly weather briefing for the week of Thursday, November 16th, 2017. All right, so some highlights. So we're going to go over the warm conditions that we're going to experience today through most of Saturday. And then next we'll head into talking about a cold front. We're expecting to move into the area late Saturday and into Sunday morning, moving through the area. Taking a look at some below average temperatures that we'll see on Sunday and Monday after that front passes through. Taking a look at fire weather conditions, we're not expecting any dangerous conditions through the next 3 days. Then we'll head into a little bit of a tropical update and then an update on the drought. So I just wanted to throw this in. These are observations from yesterday. So these are our 24-hour highs and lows and precipitation ending at 7 a.m. this morning. So on the left-hand side, we have our high temperatures, fairly cool compared to today, and a little bit below average temperatures for yesterday, generally in the upper 50s and 60s across most of the state. As we look at the low temperatures, we do have a large area of 30s and some low 40s. This is kind of a mixture between both this morning and yesterday morning. And then on the right-hand side, we have precipitation, generally 0 just about everywhere, but we did get some showers move into the far northern Georgia yesterday. So getting into current conditions, this is as of 10 a.m. On the left side, we have current temperatures from about an hour ago. We're in the upper 50s just about across our entire area, so pretty warm. And then as we look on the right-hand side, this graphic is showing a water vapor satellite loop. So we do have a very, very, very weak front moving through the area today. There are no impacts from this front. In fact, we're going to have warmer temperatures today as we get the flow behind the front. But this here shows the whiter and grayer colors is more moisture, a little bit more moisture compared to the orange and brown colors. Those are the drier areas. So as you can see, as of this morning, we do have a little bit of moisture moving into the area, and a few people may have seen some clouds out there already. So looking at the rest of today and then into Friday, for this afternoon, we're expecting highs in the low to mid 60s across the northern portions, getting into the upper 60s, even 70 in the far south. But getting into tomorrow morning low temperatures, we're in the 30s for far north Georgia for a good bit of it, and then getting into the upper 30s and lower 40s for the rest of the area. But as we get into Friday, temperatures are relatively similar to today, mid to upper 60s, generally across all of the area. As we get into Saturday morning, the left side shows the low temperatures for Saturday morning. Pretty warm for low temperatures for this time. We're in the mid to upper 40s across our whole area. And then for Saturday temperatures, we're looking at around 70 degrees for Metro Atlanta, looking in the lower to mid 60s for far north, and getting into the the low to mid 70s, further south into central Georgia. And Saturday, we are expecting some gusty winds here. The graphic on the left-hand side that popped up shows our max wind gusts for Saturday during the day. And some of the higher elevations, we're expecting pretty windy conditions, mainly looking at up to 30 miles per hour or so. But the rest of the area could see some pretty high wind gusts as well. You can see Atlanta area is looking at up to 20 mile per hour wind gusts, and that's generally around the same across our whole area. And so the main picture here is as we get into late Saturday, we're going to have a cold front push into the area and clear the area out. So now let's talk about late Saturday and what we're expecting with that cold front. So this left image here shows Saturday, taking a look at the whole nation. So that cold front there, kind of in the middle of the country, that's going to move towards our area, pushing to the southeast, and it's going to approach our area. So for Saturday during the day, we're not really expecting much in terms of precipitation. Really, we're expecting it as we get later into the afternoon and evening. So some areas further northwest of us could see some rain and thunderstorms, but as the front starts to push precip into our area, right now we're just expecting showers, but we're keeping an eye on it. So the right-hand side, we're going to look at the chances of precipitation. So this is looking at 7 a.m. on Saturday to 7 p.m., so kind of during the day. We're not expecting too much, but as we get into the afternoon and the evening, in the far northwest corner, we're getting about up to 50 to 60% chance of precip, mainly showers at this point. But as we get into the overnight hours, so looking at Saturday from 7 p.m. into 7 a.m. on Sunday morning, that's when we're expecting the front to push through the rest of the area. And as you can see, we have pretty high chances for precipitation in those overnight areas, looking at a little bit above 70% or so for much of our area. So just assessing the severe weather, we're not expecting much with the system. There are some pretty good dynamics and shear with the system, but as far as instability in our area, we're not really seeing much instability, which is why we're expecting showers. If the instability changes, which we're watching at this time over the next few days to see what changes, but any increase in instability, we could end up seeing some thunderstorms. So the right-hand graphic here shows for Saturday what the Storm Prediction Center is expecting, but further to our northwest, there is a marginal risk, but we're expecting things to not be as much down in this area, which is why we're keeping an eye on the instability to see how that changes. On the left-hand side, I just wanted to try to show this to give everybody a good example of what could happen. This is one model solution looking at 6-hour precipitation in 6-hour chunks. So we're starting with Saturday afternoon, getting into late Saturday and into Sunday. You can see the precip starts to move into our area, but the higher totals are mainly further to our northwest. We don't have as much moisture in our area associated with this front as it comes through, but it's a pretty quick moving system, so it kind of will be in and out fairly quickly with not too much precipitation expected. So as we get into Sunday morning, so the front will have already come through at this time, but we will have some lows getting into the upper 30s in the far northwest. And then in the southeast, you can see we have some low temperatures that are pretty high as well in the mid to upper 40s. So that's as we have that front coming through, which is why we have that gradient there. Then as we get into Sunday, on Sunday, our high temperatures are much below average. So for the far north, going to struggle to get out of the 40s, looking at up to 40 in the north. For the metro Atlanta area, we're looking around 50, the lower to mid 50s and the mid to upper 50s for the rest of the area. As far as wind gusts, we are expecting it to pretty gusty on Sunday. Again, we have gusts up to 30 or 35 miles per hour or so. And across much of the area, we still have pretty high wind gusts around up to 20 miles per hour or so generally for most of the area, but it will be pretty cold. Now getting into Monday morning, these are our low temperatures. Honestly, below freezing for much of the area is what we're currently looking at. And then in the far south, just above freezing. So pretty cool temperatures, and we are expecting a little bit of wind on Sunday. So it could be pretty chilly in that period. Just taking a look at fire weather conditions, there are no hazardous fire weather conditions expected through Saturday, although we will have those winds up on Saturday for wind gusts. But minimum relative humidities will stay above critical threshold values. So let's take a look at how much precipitation we could see from this system. So over the next 2 days, 48 hours, we're really not expecting anything. And also, much of Saturday will remain dry. We're really looking at late Saturday when we expect precip to move into the area. So looking at that late Saturday into Sunday system, this will be our most significant rainfall through the next 7 days, but unfortunately, not really high totals of rainfall. We're not really looking at anything too high. In the far north and northwest, around up to an inch, but as you move further southeast, we're really expecting not too much, generally less than 1/4 of an inch of precip. So taking a look at the 7-day rainfall, the graphic on the left shows all 1 through 7 days. I know the shading is a little bit misleading, but really that shows 1/4 of an inch. So basically this is all from the system that we're expecting late Saturday into Sunday. But also as we get into midweek, which is closer to day 7, we are expecting a little bit more precip through the area, and I'll hint on that a little bit later. But overall in the north, we're expecting generally less than 1/2 of an inch. So taking a look at the 5-day temperature forecast, I have here Ellijay for the north, Atlanta for portions of central Georgia, and Macon for a little bit further south. The main thing to note here is we're pretty steady in the 60s over today, tomorrow, and into Saturday. But once that front comes through, our high temperatures take a dip. So if you look at Ellijay, down to 47, so 63 on Saturday, down to the mid-40s on Sunday. And that trend also can be seen with the low temperatures as well. Once we get through that front and we get that cold air pushing in behind the front on Sunday and morning, Sunday and Monday morning, the low temperatures really start to plummet. So for Macon, we're expecting freezing, Atlanta just below, and for LJ, even cooler. Taking a quick look at the tropics, over the next 5 days, this area that is hatched here is a 10% area in the Caribbean Sea, and that's over the next 10 days, so really not much. And now taking a quick look at the drought. Compared to last week, oh, I'm sorry, there's an incorrect graphic here. So last week we had only areas of abnormally dry in portions of eastern, central Georgia, and southwestern Georgia. But we have developed into a moderate drought for some areas of eastern Georgia and far southwestern Georgia. So just wanted to give a quick Thanksgiving outlook. Thanksgiving is a little bit further out than my 7 days cover, but general trend, we're expecting highs in the 50s and 60s, lows in the 30s and 40s, and chances for precip do return mid to late week. So the graphic on the right here shows day 6 and 7 precipitation totals. So as you can see further to the west of us, there is possible that there is a system brewing there that could bring us some precipitation midweek close to Thanksgiving. But what's going on, and there's a little bit of model uncertainty. So we do have up to 10 to 15 to 20% chance of precipitation as we get into midweek and for Thanksgiving. But that is likely to change as the models come into a little bit better agreement. We can actually resolve all of this a little bit better. So while this is what we currently have, chances for precipitation could change significantly depending on how this whole system evolves. But in saying that, the next briefing will be Tuesday before Thanksgiving, so then we'll get your Thanksgiving forecast in then. But I do hope everyone has a happy Thanksgiving. So just taking a quick look at the 6 to 10 day outlook. On the left-hand side, we have our precipitation probability of being above or below normal. So overall, for next week, we are looking at a chance for below average precipitation, which would not favor us for that drought. So drought could persist or worsen in some areas. And then on the right-hand side, we do have temperature. And this shows us that we do have a good chance of having below average temperatures for next week. But at the end of my 5-day outlook, if you recall, we had temperatures in the 20s and 30s. So that's kind of creeping into this as well. We're already going to be seeing some of those cooler temperatures. So they won't persist that cold over the whole next week, but overall, generally, it'll be a cooler time period. So overall, a summary. So we are expecting warm conditions to continue today through Saturday. And then that cold front's expected to move in late Saturday into Sunday morning. But we are monitoring the system to diagnose if there are any chances for thunderstorms. Right now, we do have showers in the forecast. After that front moves through, we will get some very cold air pouring into our area, which will bring us really cold temperatures on Sunday and Monday morning, and even Monday below average temperatures as well. And on that note, our frost freeze program will end on November 20th, which is Monday. So there is the potential we could be issuing a freeze warning or freeze watch for that period with those temperatures. But overall, we don't have any dangerous fire weather conditions expected over the next few days. The tropics are fairly quiet, but we do have moderate drought areas developing in some portions of eastern Georgia and southwestern Georgia. And just another reminder, our next briefing will be on Tuesday the 21st instead of Thursday, which is Thanksgiving. And with that, if you have any questions, feel free to contact us, give us a call, or tweet us or Facebook us. And if you have any questions, feel free to do so.